me see what the back of my head is looking like. I know it is looking scalpy AF. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is Jen Lifestyle and Fashion. On this channel we talk about upcycling, sewing, fashion, style, and how to incorporate those pre-loved pieces that we get from thrifting and consignment shopping. How do we incorporate those into our wardrobe to reflect our own personal style? So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, then click that subscribe button below and click on that bell so that you don't miss an episode. Thank you for joining this day of Vlogmas. As promised, I wanted to get into a hair update video, and so we are creating a Vlogmas video today for that purpose entirely. So hope you guys enjoy this. For those of you who are here for an upcycle or a thrift haul or a thrifting video, you might as well go back and check out some of my old videos, because this episode is solely about what's going on with my sustainable hair journey, aka Sisterlocks. It is my 20-month update of my sustainable hair journey. And I have to say the time has gone by so quickly. And I also have to say that this has definitely been the best hair decision that I've ever made. Now, prior to getting Sisterlocks, I tried a lot of different things. I permed my hair at one point. I tried texturizers. I tried Brazilian blowouts. I was natural for a long time. I did braids for a long time, and I wore a wig. I wore a weave extensively for an extremely long time. I wore a weave for a long time because my hair was so damaged from just trying to do anything that I could to make it easier to work around my hair. I am an avid runner, and I have been for a while, and the challenge was trying to keep a decent hairstyle after running 10, 12, 26 miles on a regular basis. And I just couldn't find anything better than a weave. And then I went into a wig because the wig allowed me to switch back and forth. The wig is definitely the tried and true best option for having options when you have natural hair. And as you guys have seen, I still wear my wig even today when sometimes I just want to give my hair a break. I started this journey in late March of 2021, and I have not looked back. I will say that it was rough going. When I got started, I felt like there were a lot of things going on with my hair that I just didn't like. Outside of having that plucked chicken look, beyond that, I felt like there were some things going on with my hair that I didn't feel like my loctician was addressing the way I felt she should. And my advice is, if you feel a certain way about what's happening with your hair, is to talk to your consultant or your loctician and get some feedback from them. What I found was the feedback that I was getting was more along the lines of being confrontational. And I get it, you know, I am a creative and I'm sensitive about my, okay? And so I get it. And I thought that I'd approached it well, but I don't think, maybe I didn't use the right words and I didn't articulate things to her well enough so that she could understand that, you know, I'm still coming back. I just feel some kind of way about what's happening here. Down the road, I realized that she and I just weren't a good fit. and I began to look for another person. I did eventually find someone else, and I felt like that person gave me the feedback, somewhat of the feedback that I needed, and I decided to move forward with that individual. So I've been with my new Sisterlock consultant slash loctician for about 8 months. I switched over to her after I was 1 year in, and I've been pleased. One of the things that she started doing for me is splitting my locks. And you guys, if you followed any of my episodes regarding my Sisterlock hair journey, aka sustainable hair journey, you will know that the splitting process occurred because the locks in the back were so big. So the grid in the back was so much larger, and the hair back there is so much thicker and more dense that when the locks started to mature, the locks were just too thick. And I didn't really like the way that looked. I didn't like a really thick lock. I wanted a thinner lock. Now I understand that in the crown, because my hair is thinner, then I needed thinner locks. But in the back, they didn't need to be that large. And I used to complain about the scalpiness, and I've learned to really appreciate the scalpiness after a retie. So I'm due for a retie tomorrow, which is why I'm videoing this today, because I want to chronicle from today until tomorrow. So, you know, as you can see, if you're looking at my hair right now, you don't see any scalp. I am 7 weeks in. I typically get my reties at 7 weeks. I found that that works better for me. 8 weeks is going too far. 6 weeks is just right on the cusp of being too soon. And 7 weeks for me works really good. It's a good pace for me, and my loctician feels like that is good as well. So we are on accord with that. A couple things that I've noticed that happen with my hair over time. My locks try to marry. And if anybody understands about the marrying process, it's when at the root of the lock, the strands of hair start to cross over between locks. And this has been a problem with my hair. Now I have 4C hair, mainly 4C hair. I have 4C in little patches in the back, but for the most part, it's 4C. So my hair is extremely coarse. It's very tight. And as a result, my hair locked pretty quickly. So about at the end of a year, I could already see my hair starting to lock. And the locking process goes up the strand. So those loose ends that I complained about, they went away pretty quickly, because the more I wet my hair, the more the ends of my hair started to really just get tight and firm. And they formed these knots at the end that then work its way up the strand to lock. And so that's been really good. I knew that I would be a good candidate for Sisterlocks because my hair was so coarse, or is so coarse, and it was just what I expected. The other thing that I've noticed about my hair is that it has grown so much. Now, I've only pulled out the front right here just because I like to do this kind of side swoop. And I typically wear my hair in a bun to keep my hair from moving around so much, since the back is split. And I look at my pictures today from 2 years ago, and it's such a huge difference. But basically, I know you guys want to see what we're looking like. First, I'm going to show you how a couple of my locks here in the front were trying to marry. And then I'm gonna show you what the back of my hair looks like after 7 weeks of having 7 weeks since my retie. I'm gonna show you some of the ends of my hair. And then if you notice right now, the front of my hair is kind of wavy. So last night I took the front of my hair and I braided it down to the end, maybe 7 or 8 braids, and then I sprayed it with water and I let it dry overnight. And that's what gave me this kind of full curly look in the front, and I just love it. I feel. All right, I'm gonna get started by taking my hair down. I do use a few faux locks, about 3 strands, to wrap around my bun, and this helps to give my bun a little bit of a lift. So we are getting ready to wash this hair, but before I wash the hair, I'm gonna show you some of the locks that are trying to marry. I go in and I take my locks and I separate them. So right here in the front, I have these locks that are sitting really close together. And I'm gonna go in there and just take my finger and move the hair out of the way. I can't find them. I think it's these 2. That's it. All right, let me just put my finger there. You can see how the hairs are really close to each other. So I have to take my nail and go in there and just kind of separate. And my loctician does a pretty good job of separating, but I've got a lot of new growth in between my grid, and some of this like short hair is what ends up growing or getting attached. So I'm just carefully separating. And so here you go, right here. This is a good example. Let's see if you guys can see that. See how that's 2 locks, and right there, they're so close together. So even when I pull them apart, you can see that they're married. So I'm just literally taking one by one. So this one is split. This was a lock that had a kind of a big space in the back, and we split it. Okay. But I'm going through and just making sure that they're not stuck together. This is one of my largest, thickest locks. And as you can see, it's really thick in here and not so much right here. And I think what I'm looking forward to is this growing out and me eventually getting this down to here and being able to clip it. I think this is a very weak point in my lock, and I'm not sure what happened here. I really couldn't tell you, but this is one of those that's just a little irregular. Let's see if I can find another one that one's a decent size. Yeah, some of these, like these are all kind of a decent size. I'm pretty pleased. I do have a lot of frizziness, but I hope that when I braid my hair down tonight, some of that frizziness will go away, and then after my retie, some of it will go away as well. I'm not gonna put the yellow shirt on until I wash, because I want to get the true length. So I'll wash it, I'll take the braids down, I'll spray it, I'll do the measurement for the 20 month, and then I'm going to braid it so that I can get this fullness. Now I'm still very thin on the top. I have, been doing some massaging, using some oils. It's definitely filled in a lot more from where it was almost 2 years ago, but I still have quite a long way to go. But I'm loving the look where I'm at. I'm very pleased, very pleased. All right, I'm gonna go wash and I'll be back with the yellow shirt. And this is the wraparoo. I think I've linked it before, but I will link it again. I bought this at one of those pop-up holiday markets, and I love it because not only is it a black-owned company, but on the inside has that jersey cotton, like t-shirt type of fabric, which is really good for drying your hair. And then on the flip side, you have this kind of smooth textured fabric. It's got some Velcro on the side to help hold it all together. And so I just try to find like the drier parts to continue the drying. But I wrap my hair in this as soon as I come out of the shower. All right, so as you can see, I put my hair in 2, 4, 6, 7 plaits. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these rubber bands. So all I'm gonna simply do is go in and take chunks hair, make sure that it's separated real good, and then I'm just gonna go in and do these braids. I'm braiding my hair into, I guess, about 8 or 9 plaits. And then since it's already wet, I don't need to spray it or anything. I have started to really like the way my hair looks after I do the braid out. So I may continue doing this for a while. It's easier to sleep on than the lock loops, even though the lock loops are not uncomfortable at all. Now, the next morning, I take my braids down. I did use lock loops at the end of the braids just to give a little bend or curl at the end. I really want to see how this is going to look. And that's what it looks all the way around. And now this is what it looks like after I take the braids down. I love the waviness. I love the thickness. I love the volume. I think this looks great. And this is probably going to be my go-to for a while. Back from my retie. Look at the length. Let me see what the back of my head is looking like. I know it is looking scalpy AF. Look at that. Look at that. And, but I will tell you that in comparison to where I was 20 months ago, way better, way better. All right, so let's look at my hair after the retie. Grid, for the most part, is intact still in the front. I still have some waves, but as you can see, very scalpy, but you can see fresh retie. And I've learned to really appreciate the retie. I'm going to put my hair up into a bun, leaving the front out. I'm pulling all the hair to the top of my head, and then I'm going to take the faux locks and twist them around the hair instead of using a rubber band or a hair tie or something like that. I go ahead and I use the faux locks. I like it because it blends in with my hair, and the faux locks give my ponytail a lift. But as you can see, those hairs in the back of my head are finally up in the bun, whereas, you know, months ago they were sticking out, and I used to have to use hairpins in the back to keep my hair up. So here I'm just taking the faux locks and I wrap one side around, and I don't use any pins. I just take the end part of those hairs, those strands rather, and I just tuck them in, and then I go around the opposite direction with the other faux locks, and then I just tuck those ends, and then I take the rest of my hair and make sure that it's all tucked in there really good, and then I just spread the hair out and create this little bun to cover up the faux locks. I usually take a very loose hair tie, put it around my bun, and there you go. Put a little tie around it. All right, you guys, so that's it. And thank you for being here for my 20-month update. If you have any questions, but be sure to post any questions that you have below, especially for my 24-month update. I'll be happy to answer any and all questions. So thanks so much, guys. Hope you enjoy, and I will see you later. Bye.